¿Dónde vamos?
French Polynesia. I wish I knew how to say it in French.
Whatever works. But it's time to leave the Galapagos.
We departed from Santa Cruz in the Galapagos and set off for Fatu Hiva in the Marquesas, a passage that took us just over 19 days and covered 3,142 nautical miles. With El Niño in effect, we needed to find stronger winds, so we took off on a southwest course to find the trade winds.
So, has it kind of set in that, we're going to be at sea for 20 days?
Yeah, I think with the last passage we did, the last two passages we've done, they went really well. And, we've been at sea for 26 days before, so...
That's true. So how does this feeling compare to that one? Like leaving for Atlantic crossing versus crossing the Pacific?
This was much more casual. Yeah.
Yeah, just kind of like, all right, well, let's go.
Yeah.
Why not, huh?
It's like, oh, today's the day. Let's go.
I like it. Hopefully that'll set the tone for the rest of the passage.
Yes.
Our weather forecast showed the trade winds would fill in fairly quickly, hopefully making for an easy time crossing the doldrums. For our first day, we actually enjoyed some great sailing as we headed south.
Last night wasn't too bad. The winds died out a little bit on us. We had to motor sail a little bit, but still kept up pretty good speed. Unfortunately, once you take a look over on the horizon, that's getting pretty gray. So we're rolling in some sails, battening down the hatches in the enclosure, and getting ready for our first squall.
Unfortunately, our good luck to start the passage didn't last. Each new weather forecast showed the trade winds retreating further south. That meant longer in the doldrums, and they proved to be a bit of a challenge, with lots of squalls, bumpy waves, wind shifting around to every direction, and highly variable wind speeds. All this added up to some pretty significant chafing issues.
So what are we up to this afternoon?
Well, this is why you check for chafe religiously. This is the very top of the main halyard that attaches all the way to the top of the mast, and I'm not quite sure what happened exactly because we've never had this happen before, but this must be where the block on the mainsail was resting, and I don't know if it was just sawing back and forth and chafing the cover, but it doesn't look very good. So we're going to take our hot knife and cut it down a little bit, and then I'll have to go back up the mast and put it back up there, which fortunately there's not a lot of wind right now, but the waves are coming from opposite directions, so the boat's going like this, but
As we can tell from the camera
rocking
movement.
in motion. And,
Yes.
yeah. So yeah. So if you've ever wondered what it's like to climb up a mast in the middle of the ocean, well, this is what it's like. It is totally bruised all the way through here. The other arm has it too, and the best part, that whole back is
A nasty bruise.
banging into the mast and lines up there, so don't think I'd recommend trying to climb the mast in the middle of the ocean if you can avoid it.
With the halyard fixed, reeling in a fish proved to be the perfect remedy for all the bumps and bruises.
Yep. Woo! Look at him go! Quick what?
Yeah, ready. We have something different.
Yay! Caught a mahi-mahi.
Yeah. Pretty good. Maybe 2 feet long or something?
Yeah. Something like that.
It's always a bit of a surprise when you find another boat out in the middle of the ocean, let alone when you have one that is stuck with you for almost, well, even more than 36 hours now. Right there, that is Blue Raven. They're a 52-foot monohull out of New Zealand and also headed to French Polynesia. So it's been fun to at least have someone close for a little while. We've traded a few weather tips, and I can kind of start to tell what sort of puffs and wind shifts we might have coming towards us based on what they're doing on AIS. So, you know, it's kind of nice to have a little buddy out here.
We enjoyed sailing with Blue Raven, but enjoyed it even more when we both emerged from the doldrums and the weather settled down. However, what then followed can only be described as the attack of the ocean wildlife.
Oh, now it's all like fishy in here.
What the hell just happened?
A flying fish flew through our open hatch into the main salon.
Into the main salon.
Flopping around everywhere.
And it's what, like 2 in the morning or something?
It's 2:15 in the morning. So I tried to grab his little tail and like pick him up and flopping around. So I grabbed the whole thing and chunked him overboard.
Chunked him overboard.
He's still alive.
Well, you're welcome, Mr. Flying
One more fish in the sea.
Yeah, wow. Yay, go fishing.
Yeah.
And go you. We have a very unwanted passenger on board right now. That appears to be a very small man-o-war jellyfish. I really don't like jellyfish. I don't like those in particular. So how he got on the boat, I don't know, but we're gonna go full-on hazmat suit getting him off.
The sunrises and sunsets on this passage were truly some of the best we'd ever seen, and we often sat at the helm to watch the sunset together before beginning our night watches. Things seem to be going pretty smoothly, but that's just when something happens to keep you on your toes.
Recording?
What do you got there?
Well, I heard a bang, and it appears as though our first reef line has decided to snap itself. I was able to fish out the other end of this from inside the boom. Fortunately, we had previously taken out our third reef line, so what I'm going to do is re-rig the third reef line to now act as our first reef line. But unfortunately, that means I've got to run it up here and get it through the low friction ring. I've got to redo things to the gooseneck so that it can act as a single line reef going through those low friction blocks. So this will turn into a bit of a project for this afternoon.
Yeah, just what you wanted to spend your day doing.
Yes, exactly.
David managed to get the line swapped around, and fortunately, that proved to be our last major issue for the rest of the passage.
This morning we have officially passed halfway on our Pacific crossing. I have to say I am incredibly pleased so far with the progress we've made and how we've been able to sail. Once we got out of the doldrums, the wind has picked up and pretty much been ideal. It's been coming out of the southeast. We've had apparent winds usually anywhere between 15 to 20 knots, and we've been sailing with the apparent wind angle about 120 degrees, so that's given us pretty decent broad reach. And we've been actually averaging over the last 4 days or so almost 7.7 knots, which is a huge record for us. And actually gives us a pace of arriving into the Galapagos, or headed to the Marquesas, in under 18 days, which there's no way I thought we'd even come close to that. However, this being the Pacific and an El Nino year, it looks like that luck is about to change. The forecasts show that in the next day or two, the winds are going to shift further to the east and slow down quite a bit. Almost all the way down to 10 knots true in the middle of next week or so. So unfortunately, that means we are going to be doing much slower the second half, and definitely wishing we had our spinnaker at this point. And it was quite unfortunate that that blew out on our way to the Galapagos, but we'll make do with what we can, and we will reach French Polynesia eventually. Well, well, well. What do we have here?
Nutella.
Nutella. And why do we have some Nutella?
A little mid-passage treat.
Mid-passage, because we officially passed halfway, didn't we?
We are halfway to the Marquesas.
Marquesas.
Yay.
What? So, any bets on how long this thing's gonna last?
This Nutella?
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
We unfortunately seem to have lost the cooperation of the wind. It is this morning dropping down between like 8 to 10 knots true, occasionally bumping up to like 12 knots true, but it is from directly behind us and we are going directly in front of us.
With the wind shift, we tried quite a few sail combinations, trying to keep our speed up. We found that wing on wing with our 2 head sails seemed to work the best.
Wing on wing with our head sails actually worked out pretty well for us today. Helps the wind actually filled in a little bit. Then 15 knots and higher for at least the afternoon, and hoping it's going to hold out for hopefully a good portion tomorrow, but we'll take the wind while we can.
Fortunately, the wind held out and David took the opportunity to launch Phoenix and film Starry Horizons in the middle of the Pacific.
It is now morning on April 25th. We have 175 miles to go till we reach Fatu Hiva in the Marquesas. So we are getting close. And that means that it is decision time. The honest truth is, I am pretty sick and tired and frustrated of this light wind straight from behind nonsense. So we've got the engine on and we are gunning for sunset tomorrow. Got our last sunrise at sea for this passage. Looks like we should be pretty easily into Fatu Hiva by sunset this evening. So pretty excited to be coming to a close on this passage. The winds have actually picked up just a little more than expected for the last few hours, so I was able to get the head sails out and actually sail for a little bit, which is always fun. Hopefully that'll hold out, but if not, we are committed to motoring the rest of the way and excited to wrap things up.
Fatu Hiva appearing over the horizon was a pretty incredible moment. It's always a special feeling to complete a passage, but completing a Pacific crossing is just a bit more magical.
You got land behind you.
You do. It's gorgeous too.
Yeah, how you feeling?
Good.
Making it to the end, huh?
Yay.
So, Atlantic or Pacific? Which was easier?
Pacific.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we just have so much more under our belts this time, and it was like more casual departure, and I don't know, I think it went well. It was easy.
Well, good.
I liked our wing-on-wing setup with the head sails.
Yeah, that worked well. And now we've got a beautiful island to look forward to.
With the wind shifting around the island, giving us a nice beam reach finish, David couldn't resist launching Phoenix one more time.